All right, we are about a minute away from another break. I think I am probably going to take it because I need to go use the restroom. So let's continue with this. And then when that starts, I'll take a 3-minute break. Too bad Zilby's not here, otherwise I can switch over to the break screen. But okay, so when are they been? Okay, maybe instead of starting that with it, we can just start with okay, so it is possible to develop inside a Docker container, but also use our favorite code editors. We can do this by mounting a local directory into the container when we create it. All right, advertisements just started. I'm gonna go ahead and take a break for 3 minutes, and then we'll be back and continue working on this. All right, be right back. All right, ad break ends in around 30 seconds. Okay, it is possible to develop inside a Docker container, but also use our favorite code editors. We can do this by mounting a local directory into the container when we create it. Okay, so let's. Oh, I don't have any other windows open. I like to do this in like a half window because it feels a little bit easier to develop with. In fact, do another one like that. Can I move you? Yeah, make it like centered. That's a little bit easier to deal with. Okay, so I think it's an option, right? Okay, so something I would like to test though is what would happen if I attempt to do this on something that does already exist. So if I do Docker RM, let's do an IT Oh, RM is for auto remove, so it will just delete this once we're done with it. So it's good. I find that the RM is great for testing little things like this. So I just want to test. Let's go with Ubuntu. Oh, I need to run. Okay, so what's something that's kind of important? Which ls? Okay, ls exists under bin. So let's try screwing ourselves over. Yep, totally screwed ourselves over. Okay. Yeah, because bin stopped working. Hold on. What's something else I can destroy? Oh, actually, you know what? I don't have to say it. It's just done now. So what we can say is okay, so let's do this. We're going to do Docker run. I can remove the let's give I can give the keep that in there, and I'll just remove it in there in the example. Okay, IT the okay, so pwd, so working directory into, I'm gonna put this into /code. You're gonna work there. Okay. And then, okay, so that goes bin bash. So if we do that, then if I cd to /code, we can do an ls, and a bunch of this stuff exists. I probably want to do like that. That's a little bit better. And then we'll exit out. Bumero, hello. How are you doing today? Happy Tuesday. Okay, so we'll do Docker run, interactive TTY. We'll connect with a volume. We use a pwd, so for our work, print working directory of where we are, and then we put that into /code. We go to Ubuntu, we run the Ubuntu image. Let's do Ubuntu, that's gonna be fine. And then bin bash. Okay. Adjuvasvi, hello. Sorry if I butchered your username. Views on MERN stack. Is it relevant for getting jobs in 2024? MERN is Mongo Express React Node. Is that what that is? Here's so you probably missed it. I did a little spiel on this. Basically, the answer is maybe, or more likely it depends. So it can be related, it can be relevant, but it depends upon whether or not the companies that you're interested in are using that stack, or at least using stacks that are similar enough to it. Because if there's something like Mongo Express Angular Node, then MERN is going to be enough to help you out, right? Because Angular and React are similar enough that any hiring manager should know that if you have one front-end framework, you know how to do another one. However, if they don't like Mongo, or they've never used Mongo, and they only use SQL databases or a hybrid database like Cassandra, then I don't think it will help you out, because there's a lot more sort of negative feelings towards Mongo if you've never used it before. And so that's where it could hurt you. So the answer is figure out which companies you're interested in working for, find out if they use Mongo, and then go with that direction. Postgres in theory is also hybrid, isn't it? I would state that it's not hybrid, but this is my opinion, right? Like somebody else might have like the complete opposite consideration than I do. I would say that Postgres is probably not hybrid because the JSON stuff that it has are like not as great. Like I have looked through their methods, and I have no desire to try to like manipulate JSON in the same way that you can with Mongo. So basically, I just like if I need to store JSON documents and then I want to manipulate them and not just like grab them wholesale out of the database, I would probably pull out a technology like Mongo. You're an entry-level developer, just started coding stuff about a year and a half ago. You know backend stuff, backend, front end, and JS, and basic MongoDB and SQL stuff, and DSA and Python. Do you know a SQL-based database like Postgres or MySQL? I would just say that you know SQL, but not any like SQL-based databases. Knowing both is really helpful. Knowing both and being able to say like, hey, I know the basics, I know the fundamentals of both types of databases, can help no matter what. Why people focus on stacks? If you have a good base knowledge. The main reason that people focus on stacks, especially early on in our careers, is mostly because if you haven't, I think it's more like if you haven't really done anything professional across like the multiple stacks, then it becomes more of a concern. Once you have a few years under your belt, then generally speaking, you've probably worked in both a non-SQL and a SQL database structure. And then you at that point in time, it doesn't matter anymore. Like you could just do, like you have the fundamentals now. Does that help? Aujasvi? I am sorry that I am not good at reading that name. It doesn't help that I can't get feedback besides text. So I don't know how what the correct pronunciation should be. Okay, excellent. Yeah, and Crossbow, you're absolutely correct. The learning new stuff fast, like getting to that ability where you can learn new stuff fast, trumps pre-learning 100% of the time. But resume, yeah, like there's nothing quite like having a resume that's one full page of all the technology that you know. Your first time on the channel, your content seems overwhelming, but you'll be a frequent visitor. Well, thank you for that. Hopefully it'll become less overwhelming with time. And then I'm always available for questions. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask away. Okay, so code that, and then we drop into here, and then we cd into code, and we ls, and I don't want to show that. I want to do this ls al, we show dot, we show that. Let's do share code to the Docker container. Yeah, let's show those things. Drops us out. And in fact, I can just cheat. We can just say like we have our README, and then we have our app code.js, let's say. That's fine. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so note that we use a special let's see, we could do Mac stuff here. So users, let's do Brooks, Zerker, maybe like code, my code, colon, code. Okay. So that gives us that then mounts, and then we have that in there. Okay, so that's just available to us. Be careful to only share the volume. Also, notwithstanding, if you install a unknown image and are using that, and they have some stuff working behind the scenes, you're root. You can do root things to your system, even if you're not root when you invoked Docker. Oh, that would be a good one. Let's also... Custom user? So like not using root? Okay. Okay, so you can read more about Docker. Oh, but about volumes. At the official documentation. No semicolon. What am I doing there? Okay, so I mean, this is what I mean by like it's super simple, super basic. It's just running you through and just like, hey, just do this. So this is one of the articles. Okay, so this is share code with the Docker container. So I can now there we go. Okay. Expose ports between host and container. Oh, interesting. So I can even write articles. It doesn't have to be that deep. What do you mean? Like you can write articles? Um, oh, you know what? Let's so this is gonna be uh example backend project. So example. Oh, like based on what I learned or something you discovered? Absolutely, yes. So I know several people that keep a knowledge database for themselves, and you just write articles as if they're blog articles for yourself. And one of the it's almost like cheating, but it's not. It's absolutely not. One of the one of the best ways to learn something is to teach others. And instead of like, if you don't want to actually teach them or like put it out there, then what you can do is pretend to teach them. Teach your future self, teach your past self. Write what Groovy calls the cheat sheets. And then just keep them on your computer. Even if you never reference them again, the act of putting everything out there and like explaining things in long form is going to get it into your brain a lot better. Okay. Okay, so we've created a simple Node.js Express project that we can use for um, example purposes. Oh, I actually have it here too. Okay, so git clone this to your local system. Okay, so oh, I guess and a Postgres database. Let's see. Okay, so I don't know if I'm going to use this for multiple things. So let's just do This project requires it all stock database. It is meant to be used in conjunction with Docker. Let's see. Please clone this project locally. I like to push them into GitHub with the projects they apply to. They're a great reference for Docker. Oh yeah, absolutely. To use the config file in .ssh for GitHub SSH. I don't for GitHub SSH, but I do use that config file for AWS and for many other places that I'm connecting to. You know, another option instead of okay, so instead of like putting each one into the projects they apply to, one great option is to create your own repo in GitHub called knowledge, or something like that. And then create, like, you don't have any files in there, but create a wiki. So actually create a wiki which I think you can do just on any normal, yeah. So you can just come here to wiki, and you can just start creating pages. And if I were to do this, welcome to this wiki. If I save this and you come down here locally, clone this wiki locally. You can clone this and then start like pushing things up to it via the command line. And it's basically you just have a full wiki page that you can also grep files through with the command line. It's really amazing. And it's a super basic, simple wiki too. And it just Markdown is fine. So that would be my recommendation. Then all of your documentation and all of your notes and cheat sheets are all in one centralized location, which is really nice. Okay, before continuing on, please clone this project locally. Okay. So that's all we need to do there. All right, so expose ports between host and container. Yes, that would be your wiki library. Essentially, you can use it as a wiki library, and it's free. And it's technically open source too, so you can also use it to share your knowledge with team members or other people in case you write it. It is, however, pretty painful to let other people write to it. So I generally it should probably remain like just private to you, but GitHub has good controls for that. Okay, so then back into this. So in here, okay, so sharing code now. since we already have the since we already have the Express the repo clones, organized plain MD files is messy. If I remember correctly, so here, let's try this. I believe I can create a new page. Here, let's go to my desktop since I don't care about this. Okay, let's go into that. So here you are. I believe that what I can do, I think I can take folder. You can touch, like, you know, article to MD. I think I can do this. Go to home. Let's link to that. So article there. Now can I set us edit an article? Oh, right, because I have like push stuff in here, I need to update this for SSH. So then I need get RM origin, I think. And then it's gonna be, I need to remember what this looks like. So you are get, okay, so if I copy you, throw you in there, think, okay, so get now we're gonna go to wiki. Okay, so this Brooks builds, okay, express crud wiki.get. So express crud dot wiki dot get. So I can do get oh, did I lose everything? Get push. Oh, get did I screw myself over? Get branch. Okay, there we go. So now I push that up, and so over here, you can see article in there. I can click into it. Oh, it went to folder github.com folder article. Okay, that is not the way I do links apparently. But you can see here, it actually organizes them in folders. So I can do that like this. Guru, hello, how are you doing today? And also Nkit, hello. I can't see what that message was though. Yeah, so anyways, it is possible to use folders like that. And then apparently I just did that. I don't think, oh, it probably uses wiki syntax. For home, this is not the right way to do it. I think it's like this, where, yeah, it's like that. But you can now use like git push stuff and send that up, and you have basically a full wiki that you can access with folders and nested things. It's great. I love this a lot. Hello, Ankit. How are you doing today? So yeah, I mean, it's not the best, but it is a free wiki, which is nice. And it's also part of the entire GitHub ecosystem. So you sort of get everything you want to. All right, let's see. Back to you. All right, so let's apply this to the ExpressCRUD project so we can develop with this code. Since we already have the repo cloned, all we need to do is change directory into it and create the container to share the code. So in this case, we're now going to, let's do this over here. So I've previously, well, okay, let's just go into ExpressCRUD like this. ExpressCRUD, we're in here, and I want to, we're gonna do a Docker run. I guess we can do the IT thing. So we're gonna do Docker run IT, do a V. We're gonna add in the ports and other stuff later, so we're just gonna do the very basics, right? So we just want that in there. We're gonna do node 20, and then /bin bash. That drops up in here. We're gonna cd into /code, and we're gonna do ls-al and see all the contents in there, and we're good to go. Okay, so for you, we'll do this. Okay, Docker run. Okay, so we have our Docker run. We do this /bin bash. That drops us into here. We cd into /code. We run ls-al, and it shows us all of this stuff. So we're good to go. And that's it. Okay. Okay, so, oh, you know what we should do? Ooh, this is gonna be good. Let's also remove node modules, but we'll keep the package lock because that's something you're supposed to keep in there. So that. Okay, so we'll do that. Since the modules Zilby, hi. Are you looking to say hi? Great, you just came across the channel? Nice. Excellent. Hopefully it's helpful. You wanna come over here? Sylvie's deciding if he wants to climb up on me or not. Come here. His tail is magnificent. Okay, so he's just sitting on me. And purring. Okay, Sylvie, I love you, but I guess are we just laid? I'm just gonna lay back here, and this is all we're gonna do is just hang out with Sylvie. Are you cold? Is that why you're hanging out with me? Okay, I'm sorry. I've gotta come back up. Sylvie's gonna go to his normal place and hang out there. It is magnificent. He's grown into his tail. When he was just a kitten, his tail was so long. And if you go back like 2 years, you can probably see some videos that have Zilby in it when he's a super young kitten, and just see that super long fluffy tail. It's still pretty long now, but I remember when it looked even longer on him. Skillful actor, hello. How are you doing today? You have a huge blocker. You're thinking of finding a strategy for learning in public, maybe do YouTube videos. It's kind of hard due to have noisy areas and stuff and people here. I can throw up blogs as well. I guess yeah, blogs are perfectly fine, right? Like learning live or doing things like that is not absolutely essential. Unfortunately, the way that things are right now, if you do videos without voice or without like an image of somebody on it, like it won't get nearly as many views these days. And if the views aren't like the point and it's really just to sort of like create videos and do that, then it doesn't really matter. Then you can just sort of record without voice and then just overlay later or just like put music on the video or something like that. And that's perfectly fine. Yeah, it's there's a lot of different strategies to do that. I think plenty of people are still reading blogs. I think the one that I see has the most visitors is dev.to. But that's not, I don't know of any better places to do blogs. Like Medium's pretty much out for dev. I don't think anybody's doing that anymore. LinkedIn is a good place. LinkedIn has some room for dev type blogs. My suggestion, just do one. Just like throw stuff out there and just see what makes sense for you. And just like see if it works. Because you could just write a single blog and then throw it onto every blog platform. It's not like you sign an exclusivity contract with dev.to or Medium or LinkedIn for your blog post. You can just throw them everywhere. It's always better to do than to just get stuck in research hell and then do that forever. Okay. So there we go. We're good to go at that point in time. You know, the pain, perfection issue. Yeah, and that's one of the hardest things to get over, the perfection issue. And the best way to do that is to tell ourselves that we're focusing on cultivating a growth mindset. And a growth mindset is, all it really is attempting to get close to, even if we know we never actually achieve perfection, by starting at an imperfect spot, and through trial and error, through purposefully failing over and over and over again, but never giving up, we get closer to perfection, because we always take feedback from whatever we make a mistake, then try again with that feedback taken into account, and then we just get closer to it. And if we have that method, that methodology, that mindset, then we can get to that place. That is really good. Also, do you think it's bad switching tops so much? It's hard. What do you mean switching tops? Oh, topics. Like talk about Rust, then Go, then Cloud. In one article, yeah, that can be pretty overwhelming for like some people, but one of the best things about editing, and one of the best things about articles especially, is you and your mind can be writing about 3 or 4 different things fluidly, and then what you present to people is the article on that one specific topic, and they don't need to know that it took you that you wrote 3 things in serial with it. You just wrote it on your own. And Kit, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Yeah, no, I totally understand with the ADHD. I don't think I have that, but my understanding is with like dyslexia, like there's some crossover there. If you want a successful blog, just write polarizing stuff with clickbait titles. Don't forget the clickbait titles. Luis Suarez has a good Rust material on Medium. Oh, nice. I don't pay attention to Medium anymore because I don't want to pay them, and they lock me out on so much stuff. So like I just stopped paying attention. Okay. So I think this article now is done for real. So we have connected into, and we have access to the code inside of there. So now we want to expose ports between the host and the container. So that's next. Okay, so we have a container. Can I actually get rid of, I don't need this wiki anymore. Can I get rid of you? I don't know how to delete the wiki once I created it. I don't think anybody will care that it's there. Nobody will take a look at it. So whatever, I'll just leave it. I might have to delete all the pages and then it's gone. But whatever, I don't care that much. Okay, so back to you. Okay, we have a container with the Express CRUD available in it. What about showing face and stuff? Because learning in public would love to connect with the audience as well as employers. Whatever you're comfortable with, right? It's oh, ad break just started, but over on Twitch. If it's something that's stopping you skillful, then don't do it. Like, don't worry about it. Like, it's better to just start creating and doing that than worry or like let something like putting your face on there stop you. Eventually you might change your mind and it'll be easier for you to share your face if that's something you want to do, and maybe you never want to do that at all. I don't think it really matters that much. There's probably a cap without your face that you'll eventually run into, but that may not be a problem based upon what you're really trying to accomplish. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. I am gonna get up and stretch and just walk around a little bit since it's been an hour. So I'll be back before the Twitch ads end. So I will be right back.